of us was handsome, and the other was plain. One of us had a vision, and the other a name. One of us was a singer, and the other was on fire. One of us was a believer, the other was a liar. One of us was a dreamer, the other waited for the night. One of us felt he was wrong, the other knew he was right. One of us had been loved, the other beaten black and blue. One of us said me, the other said you, and I said, come on, let's meet down at the station. We'll go somewhere we ain't been before. Ah, but now that it really would make a difference, why don't you sing anymore? One of us had a fortune, the other had a smile. One of us said it's forever, the other said it's just for a while. One of us was lost, but the other was blind. One of us was crying, the other was out of his mind. One of us wanted to live, the other to be alive. One of us carried a flower, the other carried a knife. One of us thought of staying, the other thought of a train. One of us was naked, the other was insane. And I said, come on, let's meet down at the station. We'll go somewhere we ain't been before. Ah, but now that it really would make a difference, why don't you sing anymore? One of us kept on trying, the other was bound to win. One dreamed of being a hero, the other a heroine. One of us called it love, the other called it cocaine. Both of us were lonesome, somewhere between Berlin and Spain. And I said, come on, let's meet down at the station. We'll go somewhere we ain't been before. Ah, but now that it really would make a difference, why don't you sing anymore? Thanks for many cups of coffee, for many words I could not find. Thanks for making it a pleasure to live without peace of mind, to live without peace of mind. Thanks for making heavy weather turn into softer rain. Thanks for making all the summer go like a song with no refrain. like a song with no refrain. And thanks for listening to my speeches, my academic misery. Thanks for making the effort to disagree, even at 3 a.m. Thanks for defying preoccupations, for keeping the fire alive. Thanks for being a woman, much rather than a wife, much rather than a wife. And thanks for getting me going when I'm about to settle down. Thanks for many a reaction that turned my head around. And thanks for refusing to paint out this dirty drab reality, and yet not taking it for granted. And thanks for liking me, thanks for liking me. Watching you from midnight mountains in a universe of stone, small against so much refuse. I'm with you and you're alone in the dance of the early hours, some unfeasible day whose light I never saw. Just the remains, once or twice, just fading out of sight. But there you are, between ledges, wind blowing around in your hair, looking for tracks and traces, forgotten places everywhere. You when I can, but if I don't make it, then you must understand that I'm a foreigner to this land. No magic now in hot back alleys, no broken stairway to the sky, no more the bright sound of laughter, the disarranged songs of goodbye. And I'm staring at somebody painting, making sketches of what I can't see. The very sight that's hidden from my eyes by all of that chunk they've been giving me about where I should be going to arrive at the end of the day. But I'm out in some side valley and I can't take the shortest way. I will meet you when I can, but here and now I can make no plans about when to satisfy your demands. Silently the morning breaks through the tall grass, whispering over a country of battlefields. Somewhere someone's listening to the hush that seems endless, of the night turning day, turning night, for the sound of surging footsteps in the blinding noonday light. The wind carries across the hillside a faint memory of rain. Somewhere someone is listening for the battle to break out again. In a country of soft pinewood hills, and few words are spoken as the world is slowly coming to an end. Empty land near the border, crossing the field, an unseen line, dividing a landscape into countries, the people and the strangers. There is someone listening to the summer breeze singing. Just someone somewhere watching as the sun is slowly dimming the colors of an evening, for another night beginning, and the night is now forever, like the memory of the singing, the song of the high hills, the song of the sweet seasons, through the tall grass whispering. Somewhere someone's listening, in a country of soft pinewood hills, and few hopes are broken as the world is slowly coming to an end. Somewhere in the fields where the whispers of our language are not heard, at the vanishing point where sight ends in the spaces between words, it's there that we'll meet, when we must take to flight, and again when we return, all the way through the night to a country of soft pinewood hills, and few words are spoken as the world is slowly turning to begin. signs of midday, even time, stops at the side of the road. Symphonic variations on a theme, scored after a foreign mode. Still life sinking into brake-light eyes, an easy game to play, and so fragile a defeat that you need only look away. But whose bargain is to sail on uncertain waters along the outskirts of an uncreated world? And who lives to be looking at each morning for the shoreline of Ithaca? Darkness of midnight, even the rain can make a terrible sound. When rooms are cold and hopes are old, and dust is settling on the ground, it's alright to say that love is gone, but when will the battle end? The skirmish kept alive to kill what peace cannot expand. But whose ambition is to sail on uncertain waters, just to be a hero of some kind, and who wishes to find no one waiting on the shoreline of Ithaca. Signs of daybreak, even the lights are afraid to face the dawn. Swearing words are heard from afar as a prelude to the morning of a fawn. How can you dream of beauty now, of skies you cannot see, when all you wanted to become is what you cannot be? A picture of steam train Paris, of the Rue Saint-Jacques in 1910, heavy with a touch of unimportant suffering, someone's share of unrecorded pain, someone's share of unrecorded pain, unpredictable lines and uneven backyards, the architecture of a world that might have been. Dead water levels the pavement, that no hard rain could ever clean, that no hard rain could ever clean. And I'm sure you've only just walked around the corner out of sight. How else could a street look so empty? The weight is down underneath the rooftops. Now the town seems very dark against the sky. The past stumbles heavily down the empty streets, to be tried by unaccustomed eyes, to be tried by unaccustomed eyes. And I've never walked down those narrow alleys, and no part of them is a part of me. I am just looking out through a dirty window into the side streets of my history, into the side streets of my history. Street lights were blinking through the black, through the mist on the windows of the train. They were stars on an early journey. But now the dawn is breaking and breaking down between the walls, with its bag full of shadows. And I can hear no voices singing. There's just a hammering sound of a train. And I could do with a cup of French coffee and a year of November morning rain, and a year of November morning rain. There's the country on living in winter. There's the smell of French cigarettes and the smoke drifting around the light bulb, and a room full of regrets. Between a cello tune torn up by the wind and forgotten too soon, and the deep waters we reached some time ago, and where we remain. And I want you to tell me everything that you know by the earth under the snow, where the wild flowers will grow, where you promised we would go. There's the taste of Algerian wine, the last oranges on a tray. There's the shadow of our music on our faces. Hey man, I like the line you play. Between the voices that have grown empty and confused, with the silence they broke, and the memory is now so bare, shabby and forlorn, of those grand refrains. And I want you to tell me everything that you know about the earth under the snow, where the wildflowers will grow, where you promised we would go. There's the rhythm of our footfalls on the steep, uneven ground between brooks that will run together to drown our heartbeat in their sound. Between one beginning and the next, again to be implored to be the last. Please remind me once again that there is hope in late winter rain. And I want you to tell me everything that you know about the earth under the snow, where the wildflowers will grow, where you promised we would go. I don't remember where we met for the first time many years ago. You've remained a stranger whom I'll never get to know. You have changed your voice so often I don't know where to find you to get back the lines that are missing in my songs. You've had many names, or maybe they were not your names at all. I don't know how to ask for you, or even where to call. And the people who know you promise not to tell the rules of your game. So I'm moving on as best I can through snow and grass, rocks and sand on the scars of an unsteady track. And if I get to where it ends, I'll see you there, but that depends on just how long the summer will last. I came to see you once when you lived in a country doctor's place. Driving through the night, I lost the outlines of your face. And then one summer evening we fell asleep in each other's arms, down in the ghetto, to the sounds from the street. Remember now, that's all there is, a fragment among fragments that come and go, taken from a story whose meaning I don't know, which is made of silences and things that can't be told, and just a touch of fondness, very faint and old. So I'm moving on as best I can through snow and grass, rocks and sand on this car's often unsteady track. And if I get to where it ends, I'll see you there, but that depends on just how long the summer will last. That song, written by Bob Dylan some 17 years ago. The world in terms of life and death, images made of basic earth, in one breath, with a call for freedom and equality. He could have done no better than he did, and he could not but take the road he took later. He was the greatest songwriter and could be no greater. But more than that he'd said what there was to say, and he was forced to continue, and so to turn away his eyes from the ground and turn to look inside. But the loudest resistance always must hide, so let's hear those cries of a different dimension. Let's experience the sufferings and feel the tension, for songs cannot analyze objective facts. They can only show how people will react, how their emotions will turn into resentment. The substance of the song is expressing discontentment and reminding us society is not they but we, and that man indeed makes his own history, and that the question is not how long it'll take, how much hope you must spend, how many hearts will break before liberation becomes a concrete noun. Not how many roads, but how to walk down. Not how many roads, but how to walk down. Yes, I do admit my thoughts won't fade, and I'm not where I want to be. Colors moving on the world outside, and the light fades out on me. Yes, I do need to be with you and to taste your happiness. I wouldn't call it that if it were my own, but I'd take it nevertheless. Perhaps I'd like to put in abstract terms the fact that I'm undone. That part of me is somewhere else and part of me is gone. Just to stand up again and try to find a way to reconstruct the pieces of my mind, a way to tell the voices from the sound. Not how many roads, but how to walk down. Not how many roads, but how to walk down. Not a many, not the best of words will do to form meaning in a language that I believed I knew. Now that every image falters on fallow ground, now that there is nothing to take back, no agreement to be found. In the full-blown absence of anything to say, anything to change, on another day. Now that nothing touches the rules of the game, played with the letters of an inherited name. Now that the change of season has no beginning and no end, now the tracks overgrown have no memories to defend of a far longer journey than stations can recall, places revisited but once or never at all. Now all I might describe, if I really must, would be in the music on which silence towers. The signs in gold on streamers stirred by the wind, and 1,000 cold bright flowers. When my contract expires, it'll be too late for the sea, too late for any crowded trains and even for poetry. I've had no news from Santa Cruz, ain't got no enemies, no friends in high places. But somewhere down the line, there's an old friend of mine who still calls me up to tell me that the sun will always shine. I never make up stories about high windows and lights. There's nothing I can say about the insides of nights, about the tissue of breathing that burns and turns to embers. Love is always just what you happen to remember. The tender gifts that bring just 3 tears for the spring, and a taste of the fears to which your fantasies cling. And I'm leaving all that behind, making my way through the small hours, walking out to find traces of the dawn. An old slapstick gag, that's my only memory. It would be presumptuous now to think she still waits for me. Blue dotted band around her head, sweat on her body, on her bed, and the moonlight on a world that's hanging by a thread. So if that great wide avenue was built just for you, let me use it this one time to drag all those nightmares through. When I'm leaving all that behind, making my way through the small hours, walking out to find traces of the dawn. Yes, I'm crossing the bridge into darkness. The river is vocalizing name. That's all I really know for certain. Nothing else needs to remain the same. Those horizons that are made of towers, that lifeless blackness builds up tall on foundations of no future. They must surely tremble and fall.